Imagine this, you're walking through your day, and no matter what happens, whether it's criticism, obstacles, or chaotic situations, nothing seems to disturb your inner peace. How could this be possible? How could you maintain a state of calm even when everything around you seems out of control? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant distractions and negativity we face daily. But what if I told you that there's a way to stay peaceful no matter what happens around you? A way to cultivate an inner strength so resilient that nothing can shake your sense of calm? Today, we are going to explore 10 powerful Buddhist principles that can help you achieve this. These teachings are not just ancient wisdom, they are practical tools you can apply to your life right now. They will show you how to build an unshakable state of mind, one that remains calm and focused no matter what life throws at you. So, stay tuned, because what you are about to learn could completely transform the way you approach life's challenges. This is your opportunity to discover how to create a foundation of peace that nothing can disrupt. Let's dive into the wisdom that can help you navigate through life with steadiness and serenity. Before we dive into the principles, let me share a meaningful story from the Buddhist tradition, one that illustrates the importance of focus in maintaining inner peace. The story: once, a young student monk approached his master with a troubled heart. "Master," he said, "I can't live in this temple anymore. I want to leave and find a peaceful monastery, away from all the toxic people here." The master, curious, asked, "What is wrong with this temple? Why do you feel this way?" The student monk explained, "Everywhere I look, I see negativity. Some monks are consumed with politics. Others talk behind people's backs, spreading gossip. And then there are those who spend their days doing nothing but complaining. I can't practice my spiritual life in such an environment. Please, let me go." The master, calm as always, replied, "I will grant your request, but before you leave, I ask you to do one last favor for me." The student monk, eager to leave, quickly agreed. The master handed him a spoonful of water and said, "Take this spoonful of water and carry it around the monastery. Do not spill a single drop. If you can do this, I will let you go." The student monk, thinking this was a simple task, accepted the spoon and set off around the monastery, determined to complete the task without spilling any water. He walked slowly and carefully, fully focused on his mission. Hours passed, and he finally returned to the master, proud of his achievement. "I did it, master," the student monk said. "I carried the spoonful of water around the entire monastery without spilling a drop. Now, can I go to the peaceful monastery?" The master smiled and said, "Well done, my student. You have shown great care and focus. But before you go, tell me something. While you were carrying the water, did you hear any monks talking about politics? Did you hear anyone gossiping or speaking negatively about others?" The student monk paused, realizing the truth. "No, master. I was so focused on the spoon that I didn't hear anything else." The master nodded and said, "You see, my student, when you are fully focused on your goal, there is no room for distractions. The negative words, the gossip, the politics, these are just noises. When you focus on your purpose, those noises fade away." The student monk stood silently, reflecting on the master's words. The lesson was clear: focus on your purpose and your path in life. When you do this, nothing else will have the power to distract you or affect your inner peace. You see, in our modern world, it's easy to become distracted by the noise around us, be it negative people, judgmental remarks, or societal pressures. We often lose focus on our own goals and aspirations because we get caught up in the negativity of others. But, just like the student monk, if we turn our attention inward and focus on our purpose, we can navigate the external chaos without being shaken by it. This is not to say that we should ignore the world around us or the struggles we face. Rather, it means that by focusing on what truly matters to us, we can find peace even in the most turbulent environments. When you encounter people who are negative or critical, remember that you have the power to choose your response. You can either engage with their negativity, which will drain your energy and peace, or you can choose to stay focused on your goals and respond with positivity. This choice is yours. Principle 1. Firm purposes, building resilience. Now that we've heard the story of the student monk, let's explore the first principle, firm purposes. The story beautifully illustrates how when we focus on our goals and remain dedicated to our purpose, distractions fade into the background. This is exactly the core of what builds resilience. Having firm purposes in life is like having a solid foundation under your feet. No matter how turbulent the storm or how hard the ground beneath you shakes, if your foundation is strong, you can stand firm. This is exactly how your inner peace works. When you are clear about your goals and your purpose in life, you build resilience. Even in the face of criticism, failure, or personal challenges, this inner clarity gives you the strength to remain calm and steadfast. When you define what truly matters to you, whether it's your family, your career, your personal growth, or your spiritual journey, it becomes a guiding light. Just like the student monk, who focused on carrying the water without spilling a drop, you too can focus on your goals with determination. In those moments when life seems chaotic, remind yourself of your purpose. Let that purpose be the anchor that keeps you grounded, no matter what storms come your way. For example, think about a time when you faced a tough situation. Perhaps you had a difficult project at work, or you were going through a personal challenge. In those moments, did you feel lost or confused? Did the negativity around you shake your confidence? Now, imagine if you had been clear about your purpose. If you had known exactly why you were doing what you were doing, would it have been easier to stay focused and calm? Likely, the answer is yes. This principle of having firm purposes doesn't just apply to big goals. It can also apply to your daily actions. Every small step you take toward what is important to you strengthens your resilience. When you know what you are working towards, even the smallest task becomes meaningful. So, take a moment today to reflect. What is your purpose? What are the things that truly matter to you? Write them down and keep them close. When life throws challenges your way, remind yourself of your firm purpose and use it to stay grounded, just like the student monk. Principle 2. Becoming untouchable, managing your responses. The second principle we'll explore today is about becoming untouchable. This doesn't mean avoiding challenges or difficult situations, but rather learning how to manage your response to them. In life, we can't always control what happens around us, but we always have control over how we react. When we allow external negativity to affect us, we give away our power. We let the words and actions of others disturb our peace, and in doing so, we lose our focus. However, when we choose not to internalize negativity, we become immune to it. This is the essence of becoming untouchable, not that we ignore the challenges of life, but that we refuse to let them disturb our inner peace. Think about a time when someone criticized you or acted rudely toward you. Maybe it was at work, at home, or even on social media. How did you react? Did you feel angry or hurt? It's natural to feel upset, but the key is in how you handle those emotions. Instead of letting their negativity overwhelm you, you have the power to pause, take a deep breath, and choose how to respond. When you practice this, you protect your peace. You don't let the negativity of others dictate your emotional state. Instead, you can respond with calmness, clarity, and understanding. It doesn't mean you're ignoring the issue, it means you're choosing to handle it from a place of strength, not reactivity. For example, the next time someone criticizes you, take a moment to breathe and reflect. You can decide whether their words are worth your emotional energy. By choosing to not react negatively, you remain calm and focused on your goals, without letting the words of others divert you from your purpose. This practice of becoming untouchable allows you to move through life with more confidence and grace. You stop letting external factors dictate your peace, and instead, you become the master of your emotional world. The more you practice this, the stronger your inner peace becomes. Over time, fewer things will bother you, and you'll find it easier to stay focused on what really matters in your life. So, the next time you face criticism, a challenging conversation, or any form of negativity, remember that you have the choice to protect your peace. Choose calmness, choose clarity, and choose to stay untouchable. By doing so, you will keep your inner strength intact and continue moving forward with unwavering focus on your path. Principle 3. Insult and offense, practicing patience and compassion. In life, you will inevitably face moments where others may insult you or act in an offensive way. While these situations can be hurtful, Buddhism teaches us to view them as opportunities to practice patience, self-control, and understanding. Often, when we are insulted or criticized, our first instinct is to react emotionally, whether through anger, frustration, or even hurt. But what if, instead of reacting, we paused for a moment and asked ourselves, why is this happening? Many times, insults are not about us at all. They are projections of the other person's own pain, frustrations, or insecurities. When we understand this, we can begin to respond with compassion instead of anger. Think about it. When someone insults you, it's easy to take it personally. We often feel that the words they speak are a direct attack on who we are. But if you pause and reflect, you'll realize that their words are more about their own struggles. Maybe they are angry, sad, or frustrated, and they are projecting that onto you. This realization can help you detach from the situation emotionally and respond with kindness instead of defensiveness. For example, I remember a time when a close friend said something hurtful to me. I felt immediately defensive and angry, but instead of reacting, I took a step back and thought about the situation. I realized that my friend had been going through a tough time and was expressing their frustrations in a way that had nothing to do with me. Understanding this allowed me to respond with compassion, and instead of escalating the situation, we were able to talk it through calmly. Buddha teaches us, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This timeless wisdom reminds us that responding to anger or hurt with more anger only deepens the cycle of negativity. On the other hand, responding with patience, understanding, and compassion can break that cycle, bringing peace and clarity to both parties. When we practice this principle, we not only protect our own peace but also help others by offering them a space for healing. Compassion is a powerful antidote to negativity. It doesn't mean we condone the negative behavior, but it allows us to see beyond the offense and treat others with understanding. Next time you find yourself facing an insult or offense, try to take a deep breath and respond from a place of compassion. Ask yourself, what might this person be going through? What do they really need in this moment? By doing this, you shift your focus from reacting to responding with love, and you transform a potential conflict into an opportunity for growth and understanding. By practicing patience and compassion in the face of insult or offense, you strengthen your own inner peace and become a beacon of calm and kindness in the world. Principle 4. Guarding your mind, nurturing positive thoughts. The fourth principle we'll explore is about guarding your mind, the practice of nurturing positive thoughts and being mindful of what you allow into your mental space. In Buddhism, it's often said that the mind is the source of both our happiness and our suffering. What we focus on and the thoughts we cultivate determine how we experience the world. Therefore, it's crucial to guard your mind and ensure that only positive, empowering thoughts take root. Our minds are like gardens. What you plant in them will grow. If you plant seeds of negativity, doubt, and fear, they will grow into feelings of anxiety, frustration, and distress. But if you plant seeds of positivity, gratitude, and love, they will bloom into peace, clarity, and joy. This is why guarding your mind is so important. It allows you to create a mental environment that nurtures your well-being, instead of one that works against it. Think about it. How often do you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts? Maybe you criticize yourself, worry about the future, or ruminate over past mistakes. These types of thoughts can consume us if we're not careful. But here's the key. You have the power to control your thoughts. You may not always be able to control what pops into your head, but you can choose whether to hold on to those thoughts or let them go. For example, let's say you're going through a stressful time at work. It's easy to start thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't handle this." But when you recognize these thoughts, you can choose to replace them with something more constructive. Instead of focusing on the negative, try shifting your focus to what you can control, like taking a deep breath, organizing your tasks, or reminding yourself of past successes. This simple shift in focus can change your entire experience of the situation. Guarding your mind doesn't mean ignoring the challenges you face, but it does mean choosing how to respond to them. By consciously focusing on positive thoughts, you create a mental environment that supports your growth and peace. In Buddhism, there's a concept called mindfulness, the ability to observe your thoughts without becoming attached to them. This practice allows you to recognize when negative thoughts arise and let them go without getting caught up in them. The more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to guard your mind from harmful thoughts and replace them with those that empower you. For example, you might begin your day by setting an intention, something positive you want to focus on, like gratitude or calmness. As the day unfolds, whenever you find yourself spiraling into negative thinking, gently bring your focus back to your intention. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate a mindset that supports peace, resilience, and joy. So, take a moment today to check in with your thoughts. Are they aligned with the life you want to create? If not, what can you shift in your thinking to create a more positive, supportive mental environment? Remember, you have the power to guard your mind and choose the thoughts that shape your life. By nurturing positive thoughts and guarding your mind, you create a foundation for lasting peace. You stop letting external circumstances dictate your emotional state, and instead, you become the creator of your own mental and emotional reality. Principle 5. Overcoming fear and shame. The fifth principle we'll discuss today is overcoming fear and shame, two powerful emotions that can stop us from living our fullest, most peaceful lives. Both fear and shame often stem from past experiences, societal expectations, or our inner insecurities. But in Buddhism, we learn that these emotions do not define us, they are simply temporary feelings that we can transcend. Fear often arises from the unknown or from our perceived inability to handle a situation. It can hold us back from trying new things, taking risks, or pursuing our goals. Similarly, shame stems from feelings of inadequacy or the belief that we are not worthy. Both fear and shame can keep us stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and hesitation, preventing us from stepping into our true potential. But the Buddha teaches us that fear and shame are not permanent states, they are just passing clouds in the sky of our minds. The key to overcoming these emotions is to face them head-on with mindfulness, compassion, and understanding. Instead of running from fear, we must confront it. And instead of hiding from shame, we must accept it, learn from it, and release it. Let's start with fear. Fear often arises when we face an uncertain future or when we perceive a threat, But in Buddhism, we are taught to observe our fears without letting them control us. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to recognize that fear is simply an emotion. It doesn't have the power to dictate your actions unless you allow it. When you observe your fear, you can see it for what it is, an exaggerated response to a perceived danger, which often doesn't hold up to logical scrutiny. For example, imagine you're about to give a presentation at work. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and your mind begins to tell you that you'll fail. But if you take a step back and observe these feelings, you realize they are just physical reactions. The fear of failure is not a fact, it's just an emotion. By acknowledging this fear without judgment, you can move through it with more clarity and less anxiety. Similarly, shame can be incredibly paralyzing. When we feel shame, it often feels like we are unworthy of love or success. But Buddhism teaches us that shame, like fear, is rooted in our perception of ourselves. It is not the truth of who we are. Instead of hiding from shame or letting it hold us back, we must learn to embrace it with compassion. When we acknowledge our feelings of shame, we open the door to healing and transformation. For example, think about a time when you felt shame about something you said or did in the past. Rather than avoiding the memory, sit with it. Accept it, and recognize that this shame does not define you. You are not your mistakes, and you can learn from them. When you allow yourself to experience and accept shame, you free yourself from its grip. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience and self-acceptance. The practice of mindfulness is key in both overcoming fear and shame. By observing these emotions without attachment or judgment, we can release their hold on us. We learn to recognize that fear and shame are not our true selves, they are just passing thoughts and feelings that we have the power to transform. The next time you encounter fear or shame, pause for a moment and observe it. Don't let it control your actions. Instead, choose to face it with mindfulness and compassion. Recognize that you are bigger than these emotions, and that they do not define who you are. By embracing this practice, you'll find yourself more confident, resilient, and capable of overcoming the barriers these emotions once created. Overcoming fear and shame is not about avoiding them, but about learning how to sit with them, understand them, and ultimately transcend them. This is how you build true emotional strength and peace. Principle 6. Transforming challenges into opportunities. The sixth principle we'll explore is the art of transforming challenges into opportunities. In life, we all face obstacles, setbacks, and difficult situations. These challenges are inevitable, but how we respond to them determines whether they become stumbling blocks or stepping stones. Buddhism teaches us that every challenge contains a hidden opportunity for growth and transformation. The key is in how we perceive challenges. Often, when we encounter problems, our initial reaction is frustration or a desire to avoid them. We might feel overwhelmed, thinking that life is unfair or that the situation is insurmountable. But what if, instead of seeing challenges as threats, we saw them as opportunities to learn, grow, and evolve? In Buddhism, the concept of impermanence, anicca, plays a crucial role in transforming challenges. We are reminded that everything, including difficult situations, is temporary. Just as the seasons change, so too do the circumstances in our lives. No hardship lasts forever, and no challenge is insurmountable when we approach it with the right mindset. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant challenge. Maybe it was a difficult decision, a personal loss, or a major setback. At the time, it probably felt like the world was against you. But looking back, did you gain any insights, wisdom, or strength from that experience? Often, it's through adversity that we learn the most about ourselves. It is through overcoming obstacles that we build resilience and develop qualities like patience, compassion, and determination. For example, A friend of mine faced a major career setback when she was passed over for a promotion she had worked hard for. At first, she felt devastated, and it was difficult for her to see past the disappointment. But over time, she realized that this setback had given her the opportunity to reflect on what truly mattered to her in her career. She took a step back, reassessed her goals, and began to pursue a path that was more aligned with her passions. What initially seemed like a failure turned out to be a redirection toward a more fulfilling career. This is how challenges can be transformed into opportunities. Instead of getting stuck in the frustration or disappointment of a setback, we can shift our perspective and ask ourselves, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this experience? This shift in mindset allows us to approach obstacles with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than resistance and fear. Another important aspect of this principle is mindful acceptance. It's not about denying the difficulty of the situation or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. Mindful acceptance is about acknowledging the challenge and embracing it with a sense of calm awareness. This allows us to remain grounded and clear-headed, even in the face of adversity. For instance, if you're going through a tough time with a relationship or in your personal life, instead of letting anger or frustration dictate your actions, practice acceptance. Recognize that the situation is challenging, but it is also an opportunity for you to cultivate understanding, patience, and communication. By doing so, you transform the challenge into an opportunity for deeper connection and growth. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to practice these Buddhist principles: patience, mindfulness, compassion, and resilience. By approaching obstacles with an open heart and mind, you allow them to become stepping stones on your journey toward greater wisdom and peace. So, the next time you encounter a challenge, instead of seeing it as an obstacle, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience help me grow? By transforming challenges into opportunities, you turn each difficulty into a tool for personal growth and spiritual development. This is the power of perspective, and it's a practice that can help you navigate through life with more grace and resilience. Principle 7. Ethical Code: Living with Integrity. The seventh principle we'll explore is living with integrity, the foundation of a strong ethical code. Integrity means living in alignment with your values and principles, regardless of the circumstances. It is about being honest, kind, and fair in all your actions, and it plays a vital role in maintaining inner peace. When we live with integrity, we not only contribute to the well-being of others but also nurture our own sense of self-respect and authenticity. In Buddhism, ethical conduct is one of the key aspects of the Eightfold Path. It is believed that living in accordance with an ethical code helps us cultivate purity of heart and mind, which leads to deeper wisdom and enlightenment. Integrity is the anchor that keeps us grounded, even when external pressures challenge us to compromise our values. When we live with integrity, we act according to our highest principles, not based on what is convenient or easy. We choose to do what is right, even when it's hard, and we do so with a sense of purpose and responsibility. This means being honest with ourselves and others, even when the truth might be difficult to face. It means acting with kindness, compassion, and fairness in every situation. For example, imagine you're faced with a decision that could bring you personal gain, but it would harm others in the process. A situation like this might tempt you to take the easier path, ignoring your values to benefit yourself. But when you live with integrity, you choose the path that aligns with your values, even if it requires sacrifice. By doing so, you protect your peace of mind and maintain your self-respect. Living with integrity also means being consistent in your actions, both when people are watching and when they are not. It's easy to act with kindness or honesty when others are around, but integrity means that you do so even when no one is there to notice. This consistency builds trust and strengthens your character, ensuring that you remain true to yourself in all situations. In Buddhism, the 5 precepts avoiding harm to living beings, speaking truthfully, not stealing, avoiding misconduct, and refraining from intoxicants serve as guidelines for ethical living. These guidelines are not just rules, but a way to align your actions with the greater good of all beings, fostering harmony within yourself and the world around you. When you make ethical decisions and live in alignment with your values, you build a strong foundation for inner peace. There is no internal conflict, no guilt or shame, because your actions are in harmony with your true self. Integrity is the bridge between your thoughts, words, and deeds. When these 3 are aligned, you experience a deep sense of peace and clarity. For example, consider the impact of your words. When you speak truthfully and with kindness, you help build trust and create a positive environment. This is integrity in action. When you choose to speak truthfully and act kindly, you contribute to the well-being of others while strengthening your own sense of inner peace. Living with integrity also means constantly reflecting on your actions and being willing to adjust when necessary. It's about continuous growth and improvement, knowing that you're always striving to be the best version of yourself. When you slip up, as we all do from time to time, integrity means acknowledging the mistake, learning from it, and moving forward with a renewed commitment to your values. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, ask yourself, is this in alignment with my values? Does this action reflect my integrity? By living with integrity, you create a life that is grounded in honesty, kindness, and self-respect. This ethical foundation not only brings peace to your heart but also inspires others to live with greater integrity as well. By choosing to live with integrity, you build a life that is aligned with your deepest values, creating a sense of peace that no external challenge can disturb. This is the power of ethical living, and it's a key practice in maintaining a balanced and peaceful life. Principle 8. Living according to nature, embracing change. The 8th principle we'll discuss today is about living according to nature and embracing change. In Buddhism, one of the core teachings is the concept of impermanence, the understanding that everything in life is constantly changing. From the seasons to the cycles of life, everything is in a state of flux. When we resist change, we create unnecessary suffering. But when we learn to embrace change as a natural part of life, we open ourselves to growth, adaptability, and inner peace. Change is a constant in the universe. Nothing stays the same forever. Our emotions, relationships, work, and even the world around us are all in a continuous process of transformation. This principle invites us to align ourselves with the natural flow of life, accepting that change is not something to fear but something to be embraced. In Buddhism, impermanence, anicca, teaches us that all things, whether material or emotional, are temporary. Just as the seasons change, so too do our circumstances. The key to peace lies not in resisting change, but in accepting it with grace. When we hold on tightly to the past or try to control the future, we create resistance, which leads to anxiety and frustration. But when we let go of the need for control and accept the flow of life, we find freedom. Take, for example, the experience of loss. Whether it's the end of a relationship, a change in career, or even the passing of a loved one, loss is an inevitable part of life. It's easy to feel devastated by these changes, but through the lens of Buddhism, we are reminded that every loss is also an opportunity for growth. The process of grieving and letting go allows us to release attachments and make room for new possibilities. Consider the example of nature. A tree doesn't cling to its leaves in the fall, it allows them to fall, knowing that new leaves will grow in the spring. Similarly, we too must learn to let go of what no longer serves us, trusting that life will bring new opportunities when the time is right. This practice of embracing change is not about passively accepting everything that happens, but rather about choosing to respond with awareness and equanimity. Change can be uncomfortable, but it can also be a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. By embracing change, we allow ourselves to evolve and learn from the experiences life offers us. For instance, let's say you're faced with a sudden change at work, like a new team or a shift in responsibilities. Initially, you may feel stressed or uncertain, but instead of resisting the change, you can choose to view it as an opportunity. Perhaps it's a chance to learn new skills, meet new people, or explore a different aspect of your career. By embracing the change, you transform what could have been a stressful situation into one of growth and possibility. Embracing change also means accepting that we are not in control of everything. Life will present us with challenges, and some of those challenges will be beyond our ability to influence. But when we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, we find peace in knowing that change is a part of the greater tapestry of existence. The key to living according to nature is understanding that everything in life is interconnected. Just as the cycles of nature evolve, so too must we. The more we let go of our attachments to the past and future, the more we are able to live fully in the present moment, embracing the changes that come with it. So, the next time you face change in your life, whether it's big or small, try to approach it with an open mind and heart. Instead of resisting, see it as an opportunity to grow. Trust that, just like the seasons, change is a necessary part of life that will ultimately bring about new growth and new possibilities. By living in harmony with change and embracing the impermanence of life, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and open the door to deeper peace and transformation. This is the power of living according to nature. Principle 9. Gratitude, the power of appreciation. The ninth principle we'll explore today is the transformative power of gratitude, an essential practice in Buddhism that helps us shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you when things go well. It is a deep, mindful practice that allows us to appreciate the present moment, even during times of difficulty. In Buddhism, gratitude is seen as a powerful tool for cultivating happiness and maintaining inner peace. Gratitude has the ability to shift our perspective on life. When we focus on the things we are thankful for, we begin to see the abundance around us, even in the midst of challenges. It's easy to get caught up in negativity, whether it's worries about the future, regrets about the past, or frustrations with the present. But when we practice gratitude, we train our minds to look for the positive in every situation. Think about a time when you were feeling down or overwhelmed. Perhaps you were consumed by stress or negative thoughts, and everything seemed to be going wrong. Now, imagine if, in that moment, you paused and took a few moments to focus on what you were grateful for. Maybe it was the support of a friend, a moment of peace in nature, or even just the ability to breathe. By shifting your focus to these small but meaningful things, you create a sense of peace and contentment that helps ground you. In Buddhism, gratitude is seen as a way to connect with the present moment and cultivate a sense of mindfulness. When you are truly grateful for what you have, whether it's the simple act of drinking a cup of tea, a kind word from a loved one, or a beautiful sunset, you are fully present. You are no longer caught up in the past or the future, but instead, you are appreciating the here and now. Gratitude also helps us to recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. When we practice gratitude, we acknowledge that everything we have is a gift, often given to us by others, whether it's our family, friends, or even strangers. It reminds us that we are not alone, and that life is full of interdependent relationships. By appreciating what others contribute to our lives, we foster a sense of connection and compassion. For example, think about the people in your life who have supported you, whether they are family members, friends, or mentors. How often do you stop and truly appreciate what they've done for you? Gratitude is a way of acknowledging the love, care, and wisdom that others share with us, and it strengthens our relationships by showing our appreciation. But gratitude isn't only about appreciating the good things in life. It also helps us navigate difficult situations with more grace. When you face challenges, it may seem like everything is going wrong. But by practicing gratitude, you can shift your focus from what's going wrong to what you can learn from the experience. Perhaps the challenge is teaching you patience, resilience, or a new skill. By focusing on the lessons within adversity, you can transform hardship into an opportunity for growth. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as appreciating the beauty of the world around you or expressing gratitude for the people who bring light into your life. The more you practice gratitude, the more naturally it will come to you, and the more peace and contentment you will find in your everyday life. By cultivating a practice of gratitude, you begin to reframe your entire experience of life. You start to see abundance instead of lack, joy instead of frustration, and connection instead of isolation. Gratitude helps you stay grounded, focused on what truly matters, and open to the beauty of the present moment. So, remember, even in difficult times, there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude is a powerful tool that allows us to transform our perspective and find peace amidst any circumstance. By appreciating the gifts in your life, you will naturally cultivate a sense of happiness, resilience, and inner peace that no external event can disturb. Principle 10. Mindfulness, being present in the moment. The final principle we'll explore today is mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment. In a world where we're constantly multitasking and juggling responsibilities, it's easy to become disconnected from the present moment. We often find ourselves dwelling on the past, worrying about the future, or getting caught up in the constant stream of thoughts in our minds. However, mindfulness teaches us to stop, take a deep breath, and simply be present in the here and now. Mindfulness is a powerful tool that helps us stay grounded and calm, regardless of what's happening around us. When we practice mindfulness, we stop letting our thoughts pull us in different directions. Instead, we focus on what is happening right in front of us, whether that's the feeling of the ground beneath our feet, the warmth of the sun on our skin, or the sound of a bird singing. This principle teaches us to appreciate the simple things in life. We often overlook the beauty in everyday moments such as drinking a cup of tea, walking outside, or sharing a meal with loved ones because we are too focused on the past or the future. But mindfulness encourages us to savor these small moments, to be fully engaged with the present, and to appreciate life as it unfolds. For example, think about the next time you feel overwhelmed by the busyness of your day. Perhaps you're juggling multiple tasks at work, or you're stressed about an upcoming event. In those moments, pause and take a few deep breaths. Focus on the sensations in your body, the feeling of your breath entering and leaving your lungs, and the environment around you. Whether it's the sound of the wind or the warmth of your surroundings, bring your attention to the present moment. By doing so, you ground yourself and find peace in the midst of chaos. Mindfulness is not just about formal meditation, it's about integrating presence into every aspect of your life. You can practice mindfulness while eating, walking, listening to someone speak, or even doing household chores. The more you practice being present, the more you begin to notice the richness of each moment. This helps reduce stress, increase clarity, and enhance your sense of well-being. For instance, when you're walking, instead of letting your mind wander, bring your attention to the act of walking. Feel the sensation of your feet touching the ground, notice the rhythm of your steps, and observe the environment around you without judgment. This simple practice helps you become fully engaged with the present, cultivating a sense of peace that can carry you through your day. One of the most powerful aspects of mindfulness is its ability to help us manage our emotions. When we are mindful, we can observe our thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. We begin to realize that emotions are temporary, and we don't need to react to them impulsively. Instead, we can let them come and go, like waves in the ocean, without being carried away by them. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed or stressed, practice mindfulness by bringing your attention to the present moment. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and simply observe what is happening around you. This small act of mindfulness can help you regain your calm, clarity, and inner peace, no matter what's happening in your life. Mindfulness is a practice that, when cultivated, can transform how you experience the world. By being present, you allow yourself to fully engage with life as it is, appreciating each moment for what it brings. This practice fosters a deep sense of peace and tranquility that no external situation can disturb. As we've explored today, these 10 Buddhist principles: firm purposes, becoming untouchable, patience and compassion, guarding your mind, overcoming fear, transforming challenges, living with integrity, embracing change, gratitude, and mindfulness are all paths that lead to unshakable peace. By applying these principles in your life, you can develop an inner strength that no external situation can disturb. Just like the student monk, when you focus on your purpose and stay true to your path, nothing will shake your inner calm. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Start practicing these principles today, and you'll find peace in every aspect of your life.